Hello, hello. We're starting this at 3 p.m. Eastern because I wanted to give everybody in every time zone a chance to ask a question. Hello, everyone. I guess I needed to refresh because nothing was working before that. Okay. So, yeah, okay. So the rules are in. Hey, flower, peacock, rainbow. So the rules are in the pinned comments. So this is open to the public. This is open to the public, and just let me get all of my moving parts here on my screen. Let's pop out the chat. And go to the Zoom where I feel like a human. There we go. So if you are just stopping by, you can comment and ask a question once you are a subscriber. I have it set for only a minute, so you don't have to wait around for too long. And hey, Elizabeth. Um, there we go. The the rules are right now. Hey, Danny. Hi, Little John. Hi, Jazzy and Maricela. Hi, Dallas Ann and hi, Christine. Aw, thanks, guys. Okay. You think these reading glasses would keep me from having to like completely lean in to the screen, but they don't. Um, so today you can ask me a question. You can ask me anything about astrology, meaning like, what does it mean if somebody has this and that? And I can answer anything about astrology in general for anybody that hops up. If the point that you can comment, you're subscribing, or any member. Anybody who is subscriber or member can ask a yes or no question. And we will work those by card and or pendulum. I might do both just because I like the confirmation. I need to rest my head on the pillow, okay, knowing that I'm giving good guidance. And then if you are a member of any level, you can ask me a personal tarot question and I'll pull a couple cards. And if you are a nerd or a gratitude member, those are the top two levels of membership. I will absolutely pull your chart and look at it. You just have to be okay with the fact that your chart is going to be on the live stream. Or you can also, and obviously, if you're nerd or gratitude, you can ask me quite literally any of those things, any combination or one of those things. Okay, so, and everybody can hear me, see me? Just double checking. I'm not gonna lie, I plan on being here for a while. I might take a break at some point, just to like get more water or run to the ladies' room, but I do plan on being on here for a minute. Okay, you can see me. Yay. Can you hear me? Yep, give me a minute, Flower Peacock. I want to get all of my organization because until probably for another I'll be on here for a while, but I don't want to overwhelm moderators because it's the middle of the day right now. Okay, let me do one thing really quick. You can start posting your questions. So, and it's until we've satisfied everybody's question, we're gonna do one question per person. Give me 2 minutes, not even 45 seconds. I'll be right back. I have to grab one thing. I wanted a specific pendulum. I'm back. Work from home secret. I'm kind of always in shorts, like little pajama shorties. So I always turn the camera off when I'm up and about. Okay. Got my favorite pendulum. We're all set. Okay, great. I love this. Okay. Flower Peacock, I don't see your question yet, my love. So just make sure you get it up there because I know you were in and waiting. I have to change my internet company because I pay a lot of money to have like the highest possible speed. It's rhymes with horizon, and we keep lagging, and that seems ridiculous to me. Hello, metaphysically. Okay. So, question, will there be able to be I'm just going to do because she was literally sitting in and waiting. Question, will I be able to find some income urgently as a freelancer? Okay, so I'm going to take one question from you and I'm going to ask about will you be able to find the income urgently as a freelancer? Unless you prefer that I use the I'll wait for you to tell me. I'll answer somebody else's question. You let me know which part of that question is more important you to have answered. Okay. And first thing I'm getting is that the more you feel like it's urgent, the further it might be harder to manifest if the energy around it is urgency, because urgency tends to dysregulate us. So if you can work on that, like saying like, where is the money that's already mine? Like, where can I find that money that's already mine? Um, that might help. Let's see what we got from cards. Yeah. One more. What age group are you, like what age group are you looking at for your clientele? I'm getting you that a younger age group. So maybe like, so if you're, depending on where you're targeting now for marketing. Um, I'm going to reiterate the rules. So if you are a subscriber, then I can answer a yes or no question. If you are a member, it'll be like a 3-card reading. Hi, Farfully. How are you? I'm getting my Patreon ready. It's a lot of work, but I'm getting it's Sunday at a launch, but I'm making sure there's tons of stuff in there for everybody to like look around and have fun and all that. Okay, one more card. What else? I've also got it feels like a newer audience. I work with companies, so the owners are usually older. I feel like you get taken advantage of. I feel like you get taken advantage of. This is what I have. Um, if if you focus your marketing on maybe younger owners or just newer with the Page of Wands here, it feels like you need to like redo how you're doing it, and then it gets reinvigorated, and also you get treated fairly. There's something where it's like I feel like your time gets wasted. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Yeah. um so like look at new ways, like I don't know what you're doing, and it doesn't matter whether you would use a platform like Mayhem Marketing, but looking at the new, more invigorated ways people are doing commerce, um, it feels like it's really helpful to you. Question for people watching on YouTube. Am I backwards? Like this is my right side and that is my left side. And the candles, like all of that should be on the left side of your screen. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like you're gonna get the same thing unless you deal with people who have a different mindset around the commerce. And that exists. It's finding it. By the end of this month, we will be back in Uranus and Gemini and new ways to do things, more than one way to do things, and then deciding which way works best for you. It's more likely from the cards that you got, it's the newer. Also, everybody, I'm running a special. If you go onto the community page, you can see the specials that I am running. I have it, it's really my back on my bullshit, but it's back at it again. And so I have a 30-minute and an hour. Members on the members only page, so community, but you'll be able to see the members only. You guys have a different special. It's a little juicier. To thank you for being members. I won't say what that is, but the links are on the members only page for that. Looking at me, the candles are on the right. Well, that means I'm backwards. Okay, let's go next. I love all these lovely things. Yeah, Patreon will be Sunday, and then on the community page, I have all the specials right now. Yeah, Dallas, and one question per person. We may be a little slower. I wanted to make sure I have quite a few members that are on the other side of the ocean. And so I tend to go live at like 6 or 7, and that is way past their bedtime. We have a lovely community member who's in Sweden, and sometimes she will be, I don't want her to have to be up till 2 or 3 in the morning to like interact with this community that loves her. So I just thought maybe I would go early and then I'll stay a few hours. So if we run out of people, like if I've answered everyone that's here now, then absolutely I'll answer a second. I'm happy to. Danny, so you have a yes or no? Okay. Because you're a member, do you want me to pull a couple of cards instead of just yes or no, my love? I'm feeling things around it already. Oh, thank you, Flower Beauty. Me too. I'm excited about Patreon. I like the way that there's a couple of things. I don't want to say it here, but okay, Danny. I'll be live again next week and we can talk about um the Aries new moon, which is it's really nice. And of course, the higher levels, I will take a look at your chart for that new moon. Okay. Well, Danny sounds relevant. The brother older, Danny? I have a chill. It is older. Okay. Does the older brother punish himself like a lot in his head? Yeah. Hello, Kate. Kate, I heard that in your Do It Lady voice. Will Danny's son's older brother recover in a meaningful way? There, yes. So you're not saying what it is, and that's fine. Um, okay. I'm getting like having to get out of the thought. Um, we are very much in our thoughts and possibly not super motivated right now. Um, I there's someone around him that um I get is maybe not the best influence, but the more that they separate from them, the better this goes. But there is determination, but it to get better. Um, this is gonna make them mature like almost overnight, like emotional maturity, all of it. Um, I just yeah, that makes sense for the cards. When he is out of that, um, I don't know what happened, whether it was unexpected or not. But there is it's important that he be surrounded by people that have like blind faith in the recovery because he's going to feel that. He will recover as much as the people around him believe him. So if he hears people saying he's not going to fully recover or he'll never do A, B, or C again, which is what I keep hearing, um, then he will also give up on himself and he will need to fight. So even in the coma, if you could, I don't know if you could get that message to people, but it perfect, perfect. That makes me so happy. Yeah, because not even in the coma should that anybody be able to say, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's gonna help a lot. That is going to help a lot. And you, my very gifted friend, can probably lend some really good healing energy towards that. That makes sense. I got a card for like somebody like not being in reality, and I thought that that might be somebody like that was like not grounded, and but that actually makes more sense. Yeah. Listen, I've been the family member around somebody's bed when doctors are talking over them instead of to them. And I put a sign up said, you will speak to this patient and give them the respect that they deserve. And we were also told that we were going to have no real recovery. And we completely did. So all you need is one determined bitch to be like, that's what we're doing. It makes a huge difference. I have a long history of fighting with doctors being right. Anyway, yeah, so that, but I'm getting yes for a meaningful recovery. I don't know if that's completely full, but it's meaningful. She's, yeah, 100%. Yeah, don't forget the brain, right? Like how the brain functions is so powerful, and words matter. Okay. Going back up to look at my questions. Jazzy. Job, career. I'm gonna grab different cards. Give me a second. Yes, I want those. Jazzy and Maricela. Okay. All right, Jazzy, you're up. Hi, for anybody coming in new, the guidelines are in the pinned comment. You're welcome, Danny. Big hugs. And I hope everything else is going well for you, gorgeous. Again, if you need like deeper and you need more time from me, I'm running a special. And if you're a member, the juicier special is on the members only tab. And there's also an astrology. There's $55 off an astrological consults. Which we almost never have here on this channel. So and I know there's a discount over on the Patreon on Woke Astrology. It might just be for the magazine level. I'm not sure. Which take whichever one is better. Okay. He came flying out for you, Jazz. All right. It's still the same vibe we keep getting, right? So I have the Justice card, which I love for you, and the Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Um, make sure if you are doing the extra work that you either ask them to create a new role or you make sure that you are compensated. And if they've no corporation is going to voluntarily offer to compensate anyone to the max amount of what that position allows, unless they know that you're worth more and they're still getting more work out of you. Especially a big company. So Justice, Knight of Pentacles, which means slow and steady. That Ace of Pentacles is amazing. I still think this is either creating a new position where you are or looking around and leveraging the work that you do for a new position somewhere else where you just, it's the Justice card coming out first is absolutely so that you are getting paid worth your experience at this point. Sometimes we go from a place where it's like, oh, I got really, really good at my job to not realizing how much more value there is to the fact that you govern yourself, you are not an adult that needs babysitting, that you were able to supervise others, that you need very little instruction. And that is all, while people who are naturally like that would be like, well, why wouldn't I be like that? There is value to that. Make sure you're getting compensated, because if you do not advocate, no one else will. I mean, I still get that there's new position, but you got to go. That Knight is slow and steady, but there's action there. Okay, Maricela, I literally got these cards out for your question. I have a lot of favorite decks, but this is definitely in the top 5. Saw a new, hey, Astro Kitty. Yep. As long as you're subscribing, you can ask, I can answer it in a yes or no form. You're welcome, Jazz. All right. Those cards flew right in my cleavage, Maricela. I'm just saying. Okay. This is interesting. They see you as like smart but quiet. But they also see you as somebody who will like you're a peacemaker. It's interesting too. There's a couple of them that I don't think that you like. You don't wish for things special enough for yourself, or like there's one or two that want you to like dress up more, and I don't think, hey Hollywood, I don't think that you should, just because, but like but they're worried that you don't like do special little things for yourself. Like they think you're special and they're not. Like that's, I promise you that that's what the card came out, has nothing to do with the reading you have. Maricela and I can't keep off of each other. It's twice today, babe. Yeah. Like you're not wishing, like, in, because I'm also reading this from the viewpoint obviously of a child. And so I'm getting this for somebody who's possibly like less verbal themselves. But they want you to like maybe like almost like whimsical stuff for yourself because they think that you are like a hidden fairy. I don't know how else to say that. Like they think that you're like a little magical, but that like you that either you hide your magic or you don't know that you're magical. And technically they're not wrong. Kids pick up on energy. Yeah, that like you will fight for them, but you will also like, okay, everybody calm down. It's gonna be okay. They see you as like pouring water on fire and that you are smart, but quiet and fair. That is what I am getting. You have a lot of nonverbal students. Okay. Would be, yeah. I don't know if you're going to see them again before the end of the year because I know you're out because of an injury. But like, if you wore a little crown, there'd probably be a couple of them that would be like if you wore a tiara to school one day, they would probably lose their minds happy. I'm not saying wear it in the building. I'm saying like just put it on your head once you get in class and see what they do. I swear, I think some of them think you're like a secret magical person and you're trying to hide from the normies, which aren't we all just trying to hide from the normies? Amen to that. I have all these cups. My son gets me these cups. First of all, because they're like purpley and he knows that's like my theme at work. So he gets me all these cups so that I can. He's the cutest. One has coffee, one has water because life needs balance. Right, because she is. Okay. Maricela. Lee, do you want to ask a question? I know she's like half working. Farfally, do you want to ask something? Okay, Elizabeth. And if I'm skipping anybody, I'm trying to go as they are asked. I did put Flower Beauty at the top of the list because she was like waiting. Barfley, if you have a question, who sent me? You did not have to send me money. I don't know who just sent me money, but that was unnecessary. Thank you. It's appreciated. Okay. Elizabeth, are you on the right path with your career? Let's get a yes. I'm asking for a yes or no card. Please don't give me major arcana or a court card, although those can be yes or no's. I want traditional yes or no card, please. And then we can confirm with the pendulum for Elizabeth. If you're thinking of rejoining membership, I'm just going to tell you that on Sunday, I'm launching the Patreon, that it'll be almost the same levels. There'll be slight differences, but I'm going to have the same levels priced out. So if you want to wait to join that one, if you're thinking of rejoining now that I'm kind of like back on my bullshit, if you want to join, wait in a couple of days, I might encourage you to do that. Okay. Yes, good. Okay. Elizabeth, you're here, babe? Astro Kitty, that was very sweet. Thank you. Okay, good. Is there something moving slow? Does it feel like something's stuck right now? I just feel like it 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 feels like maybe you were really, really excited when you were going down, and there are times when the motivation feels like it is. I'm not trying to say you're not motivated, but it feels like the the passion for it, or like it feels harder than it should. Yes, stuck energy. It's going to move. Is it possible that there's somebody of authority that is like phoning in their job and it's making it harder for you? You're welcome, Maricela. You know what I mean? Like, is it possible that, because I've got a King of Wands in reverse. It's the female presenting King of Wands, but it's almost like you're waiting for someone else to approve, or you're waiting. The stuck energy just could be because here's the thing: shame, fuck victim blaming, fuck toxic spirituality bullshit. That's not what we're doing here, right? Um, we have, and I love this, right? We have agency over ourselves, and sometimes we can shift things. I had a couple of things that happened this week where I kind of released some stuff for myself. I took some fear out of some situations, and um, I was self-imposingly dancing on eggshells around a couple of things. And the second I released it and kind of took back the agency, the situations kind of shifted in a good way. Um, and so that's kind of what they're showing me for you. Like, yes, you're in, let's just do the pendulum. Are you on the, I'm getting that it's the right path, but you can't. Okay. Is Elizabeth on the right career path for this time in her life? Yes, I do think I felt called to ask at this time in your life because I think it might change. But like a decade, years down the road. Like in a good way though. Hold on, we're adjusting this. I'm gonna have to charge it right when we're done. Um, the stuck stuff may move when you decide nobody else decides whether it's stuck or not. And you may be under the constraints of like you can only do so much because there are people who have like authority above you. But it's about the energy moving, not permission. Well, I guess I called that about, hold on. Does that make sense, Liz? Like, so the feeling stuck and feeling worried about how other people are going to like allow you to move the energy. There we go. It's plugged in. Sometimes we just need to kind of take back our power. And you guys know you should have access to the videos, or if You were in member, yes, so much sense. Okay. Um, I'm glad to hear that. My ego never allows to think that I'm like 100% right 100 of the time, 100% of the time. But I know you were in membership, so if you remember that spiritual hygiene, the first thing we need to do, and I do this twice a day, because I also lend out my energy here, there, both personally and professionally, is just call back our power to ourselves now from anyone using it with or without our permission. Because sometimes we willingly like share our energy, right? And sometimes we just need to collect it back. And energy is molecules, right? Like that's a real scientific thing. Yeah. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes everything feels like it sucks. And I'm like, okay, when's the last time I did my spiritual hygiene? It really helps too. The more you do that, the less I have said for years the PhD course of any kind of Cancerian energy, fourth house energy, and water energy in general, and some of the earth as well, is attachment, especially Cancerian is at the top of that list. And so the more we call back our power and trust universe to like, because we're doing everything we can, and then burnt toast theory, anything that doesn't show up, maybe a congratulate yourself on your escape kind of situation. But that spiritual hygiene helps because it it low key helps us also with attachment to things. Okay. Good. I'm glad you still use that. And again, if anybody's thinking of like, I see a couple of people here. If anyone's thinking, you might want to wait a few days and do it over there. Okay. All right. I'm just going in the row of questions. All right. I hate them backwards. I can get over a lot. I can hold hands, hold like loved ones' hands while they die. Really annoys me. While that's such a Scorpio Gen X thing to say. But it really annoys me that I'm backwards. Listen, I have flaws. I try not to make denial one of them. Okay. I think Catherine is next. Again, if you feel like I skipped over you because I did not see it, please let me know. I'm looking for Dallas's question because I feel like Dallas is so sweet and I don't want to skip her question. Christine, please answer, please ask anything that you want if you're still hanging around. Dallas, am I missing your question? Will you close? Okay, got it. Will you close on your home by April 22nd? And we'll do the pendulum first, and then we'll pull a few cards. Will Dallas close on her home on April 22nd as planned? Okay. If there is a delay, will it be quickly dealt with? If the closing gets moved, will it get moved out more than a week? Okay, interesting. Let me pull some cards. Did your username change? Where are you? I don't. I mean, I know who you are. Your do it lady, Catherine? Aw, thanks for being here for the vibes, Farfully. There's a lot of Liz in the room. I saw your question, Hollywood. I promise you're on the list. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. Dallas Ann. Sharing this with other people, sharing is caring. Likes are great. If you could take a second to like, but if you share it, even if you copy the link and send it fucking nowhere, sharing helps. I shared it out on my phone twice just because sharing helps. All right, so what I'm getting is there might be a delay. I don't think it's a very long delay. It could even be like you get a call about a delay and you get it fixed like within an hour of that closing and it just gets moved like a day. I it it may look like something that's a bigger problem than it actually ends up being. Um, and FYI, closings get delayed all the time by like a day or two. And sometimes it's just the schedule of somebody. I don't see any problem with I've for the cards that I got, it's just like quickly resolved conflict of it could be conflict of schedule or like a piece of paper that you're reading for from someone. But Dalasan, I do you're gonna close. There just might be, it might even just be a delay in time. It's just when I ask the question exactly like as planned. Yeah, I don't see, and I'll ask, is there any, is there any issue with funding or anything like that? Like anything Dallas should be concerned about? No. Is this just going to be like a minor inconvenient thing? Yes. Oh, let me put it so you guys can see it. So I'll ask again. And my elbow is obviously on the table. Will any kind of delay be due to funding or anything that Dallas really needs to be concerned about? I'm not moving. We've got our no. If there is any kind of delay in time or the date of closing will be something almost silly, more of like an inconvenience or scheduling. Yes. Bye, Farfully. You're welcome. I don't get anything that like would, it's just, I've closed on more than a couple of houses because I flipped two and also like closed then selling them. So like I've been at it would take me a second to count closings. So many times it's like it could just be that somebody wants to expedite their closing and that closing makes everybody a whole bunch more money and they'll reschedule you. Sounds shitty, but yeah. I had a very eventful winter and I wasn't doing this again. The higher levels, the nerd and the gratitude, when I am in the swing of things, get these about once a month. And I'm also looking at charts and whatnot. So that makes sense. I may be going live a little bit more often on Patreon. We'll see which one feels easier. I'm just going to do both for a while until we figure out what everyone likes. Okay. It's 4 o'clock already. I have to finish this coffee or else I will be up all damn night. Not that I don't have plenty of work to do if I'm up all night, but I also have company coming tomorrow. I need to sleep. Okay. I think Astro Kitty might be next. Are you meant to stay together? And then, so Astro Kitty and then Catherine. And then Lee. And then Haleywood. Okay. Also, again, for anybody new in the chat, if anybody needs like a deeper reading, you want to go over anything. When I'm running a metaphysical special, we can talk about your gifts. We can do healing work. We can do communication work. We can do mindset work. We can do metaphysical work, metaphysical questions. We can work on blocks and we can work on developing gifts if that's something you're interested in. So all of those things are covered by metaphysical only. In case you need more time with me. Also, the gratitude level, you get an email question a month. Every month you get to ask a new email question. And there's also a discount no matter what else I'm running for the gratitude level. Will they stay together? Okay. That's a big question to ask me. Here's the thing. My trauma-informed ask, my trauma-informed ask. Doesn't love giving you a yes or no question on something that big. And if you are willing to ask me that, I heard you come in the door, babe. Hi, Lee. Now we have 2 Lees in the chat. For you to ask me something like that in this, then it might be weighing heavy on you. Whether that's weighing heavy because some part of you feels the need for liberation, or whether it feels heavy because you really want that answer to be yes. So I did pull 2 cards to give you more context about whatever answer this shows up as, because I think that's important. And I will not play with people on the internet like that. Now, if you want to fight me about human rights, I'll play with you all day. But this kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, Astro Kitty. So I already pulled cards before we do this part. I hate having the camera aimed lower, but I want you guys to see. Okay, so Astro Kitty wants to know if she and her person will stay together. Okay, that gave exactly what I thought it was going to give. That was a no and a yes. And that's what I got for cards. Someone is trying to hold on to something and take it to the healthy relationship, and it needs to be released. That eventually will happen. I feel a separation, and then I feel a coming back together, and I feel the coming back together to be pretty strong. I didn't ask which one of you it is, and but someone has an attachment to something. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to answer. But I want to just not give you an answer. I want to make sure that you are feeling good about yourself, no matter what the answer is, right? And so I got the same thing for the pendulum that the cards are telling me. It will almost feel like a death of the relationship, and there is a space, there is time. It comes back, but whatever the attachment is, it could be an attachment to it feels a little bit like somebody's got attachment to trust, or there's an attachment to there's something. Okay. When that gets worked through for whichever one of you that is, it creates a much healthier path. I 100% believe that was what I'm feeling getting is that if you pushed to keep it together now, it could, I don't want to say deteriorate. It's the word I want to use, Suzzy. It could strain where there's already a strain, where if there's separation, when it comes back together without that attack, and whoever it is already working on it. It's about their own identity, whether it's you or them. It's about that person's, how they feel about themselves, and that has to get worked on. So it's going to look like no, and then it will come back around. I can look back at relationships and realize, had thing A had not happened or thing B had not happened, there was something inside of me that would have, whether that was my insecurities at the time or my need to heal my own stuff, that if all the other things that could be perceived as they did this or they did that or this didn't work or that person wouldn't keep their nose out of it or whatever it was really, it wouldn't have mattered, because healthy is better when both people are healthier coming to the table. And healthy doesn't mean anyone's terribly unhealthy now. It just means there's something to work on so that that piece of us that's maybe noise, that's self-sabotaging, that is just still needing to feel supported and confident, isn't quite there yet. I hope that helps. Again, there are longer appointments if you want to get, if you have more questions around that. Have faith. Best thing you can do ever in these kind of situations is give to yourself. And I can promise you that not only from an education perspective about all of this, but I can also promise you from my personal experience. And it's not about whether you're enough. It is not about whether you're enough. You're enough. Okay. Astro Kitty, yeah. We had some medical emergency and some other stuff going on this winter. I was down for a while. I hadn't been live in a hot minute. Oh, I'm glad you found it lovely. You're lovely. Sometimes we need that space to work on stuff for ourselves, because when we're so focused on somebody else, you know, when there's always somebody else's reflection in the mirror, we're very focused. I just did a video on Gemini. You don't even need to be a Gemini to watch it. It's public. But it talks about that duality, that two, right? And people, that's the Lover's card and everything else, but the reflection, the problem is when there's always somebody else standing in the wood, like that mirror is supposed to be our reflection, right? And sometimes when we're reflecting ourselves off somebody else, we find ourselves curating our words to get the reaction out of them that makes us feel validated. And so sometimes it's good for nobody else to be reflecting in that mirror but us. It gives us more space for awareness, and as long as we're doing that in a gentle, loving, supportive way for ourselves. Okay. All righty. After Astro Kitty, it was Hillywood. I'm looking through the questions. Miley, that the one that I made, the one that's upstairs in my home. If you want to go through and copy and paste and or put a list of who's next, I won't be mad at that. I might even make you Japanese food for lunch tomorrow on your day off. Okay, let's see if that motivates anyone. I love that you call me Suze. All right. Okay. Metaphysically, I think you are right before Hollywood. Again, if you feel like I'm skipping you, say something in the comments, because I keep scrolling back because I was not going to ask anyone to moderate because we're going to be a little slower at this time of day. That might change in a little bit. If you want to stick around and ask a second question, especially before 5 o'clock, for 5 o'clock, I think the audience will change. But yeah, if you want to stick around, I'm sure I'll be able to take second questions. Give me a second. These are all cattywampus here. Oh, that's annoying as hell. Okay. Give me a second, Lee. I don't know how I managed to do this. I'm quite talented. For fuck's sake. Okay. It is what it is. Zoe, you did make it on time. I'm gonna hang out a minute, my love, because I know that people have all different schedules. And I have been MIA and I wanted to give back. I wanted to say thank you because when I looked at membership, I expected there to be half the people gone because why would anybody continue to be subscribed to something when that person is MIA? Like 3 people dropped out. That was insane to me and I super appreciate it. So I'm gonna hang out today for a minute or two. All right, last sip of coffee. If you see me grab this mug again, yell at me, please. Who the fuck drinks coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Terrible, terrible. All right. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have 2 opportunities. The first one's not the right one. This is for no, I want you to judge me about the coffee. Yell at me. Judge me and yell at me. Okay, metaphysically. Okay, will there be an opportunity in the next? I'm moving it. I'm moving the needle. I'm moving the needle. Will there be opportunity in the next 14 months to buy a home and leave the rental? Yes. I'm gonna tell you right now, the first card that came was the Fool. Like, the house looks like good, but there's some kind of dysfunction on the inside. And the first thing I'm hearing, and I'm getting, ooh, of course. Um, if you know, I get, um, it feels like somebody blowing on the back of my neck when I'm really being whatever, um, prompted. Uh, so, which drives me crazy in real life. It'll almost make me drop to my knees. So it gets my attention. Um, then there's the second one, like you get your wish and you get a better house. Um, you might have the wrong team the first time you get a house. Um, it, even if it's like your real estate agent, the person they want you to use for like inspection or get your own, pay the money to hire your own. I'm just going to show you this Fool card. And for anybody who thinks cards are silly, you're welcome to that. Please feel free to feel that all day long. However, they have proved me to have very accurate readings with details for, over 6-7 years now. So, where I've been taking people's moolah and they come back. So, this one is very interesting because, like, from here, it just looks like a vine with a flower, but then, the alligator is waiting for you to jump into his mouth. So it feels like a 2-part system. sometimes I had a real estate agent once for a house I was supposed to buy with my mom in Florida. Stunning, stunning, stunning house. And sometimes I think about that house because a year and a half later, it sold for twice the price. And it kills me sometimes. But I was new to Florida. I didn't have a lot of contacts, and she set us up with this supposedly great broker for the mortgage and an inspector. And then we hired our own engineer and found things, but also the mortgage broker was like horrible. And it did end up being like, a good thing, because staying in Florida would have not been the right thing for us. But it was our own team that was not, and that is what I'm getting. And she came up very knowledgeable. She had all the terms. She'd been doing it a hot minute. She seemed like a straight-laced person, but then it turned out that she had like all these different, like, she was like a conspiracy theorist. So like her jargon and all that was there, but her common sense was nowhere. And so it feels like, don't get stuck on one agent and don't go by how much you like them. That's right, Maricela. All judgment and no pity for me if I drink that coffee again. Sometimes a girl needs to be punished, you know? Got Pluto on my ascendant, whatever. I hope that made sense, Lee. Okay, we're gonna do Hillywood. Are you still hanging out? Here's the thing, you might ask a question, it might take me 25 minutes to get to you, but when I get to you, you're gonna get quality and I'm not gonna rush you. This isn't gonna be yes, no, yes, no. That's not how I roll. That's how other people roll, and they're great. And that, if that is more your speed, then that's probably a better reader for you. But I take my time. Well, I have to go check where the Mars is today because I'm feeling a little spicy. Um, okay, good. Well, you're living, I guess Emily either fell asleep because she had a ass crack of dawn shift this morning, or she is not paying attention because she would have moderated for Japanese food. Will your living situation improve in the long run? Okay, whenever you're asking me a question that has to do with like time, here's a couple of words that I don't love to use, because if we're connecting with guides, right, and universe, that shit has existed forever, right? Like, it does, I do, yeah, Mars, but I'm saying, like, I'm wondering from my chart where Mars is, and it just occurred to me it's trining my Neptune, it's talking to my Jupiter, it's talking to a whole bunch of things because I just remembered the degree it's at. So um it does enter on the 9th. So when I was saying that, I just meant like to my chart because I'm feeling a little spicy. Um so whenever I'm pulling cards, I just like we don't say soon. Will I hear from somebody soon? Give me a time, because soon could be 10 years to an entity that has been around for thousands. You know what I mean? So I don't like to, so as far as saying like in the long run, let's give you, what would you like, do you mean eventually, or like, do you want to know if it will improve by the end of July? We have some stuff going on in July that I think a lot of things will change, both personally and collectively. So do you want to give me like a roundabout date, Hollywood? So when I'm asking you, I can give you quality answer. See, I almost went for the coffee. Nobody yelled at me. I'm not even doing your jobs. Next winter. Okay. How about we'll ask before, and then if it says no for July, then we'll ask for the winter. How's that? Okay. For Hilly, I'm just going to release any energy that's not mine to carry and let go of any of the energy or connection from all the readings before Hillywood. Okay. Will her living situation improve before the end of July? Will it improve before the end of the winter of 2026-20? Yes, okay. Does it improve by the end of August? Okay. By the end of August, then I'm getting a yes. So when we have transits, and I want to make sure I'm saying this about astrology, nobody's asking astrology questions, but because I get it, because I'm here and you can ask me personal questions, and why wouldn't you? But so let's say that there is a big transit happening, or a couple of like interesting pivotal transits happening in July. It'll take time for that to have like a butterfly effect or a domino effect where it's incorporated into our lives. Sometimes in the collective, we'll see things happen like really close to that date, but sometimes it's a shift. And this one will be like, it'll be something. And then as things kind of fall back into place. Hello, Alicia Bisha, are you saying hello from a hospital room or what is happening? So it like if there's a couple of things that happen in July, the fact that it might not be till late August could make sense so that things have time to play out. You're welcome. You got home Monday night? When was the birthday? So did you, so was it Friday, Saturday? 3:15 and they sent you home Monday night already? Things have changed. I'm old. Also, I had sections. I had these sections for all three of mine, so you stay a little longer. 3:15 Sunday morning. Babe, email me the name and everything, and I will make you a little keepsake chart. I will email it to you so you can have something like pretty to frame. Congratulations. Alicia had a baby. That's why I was like, I knew that she was ready to pop the last time I was live, which was like the Libra full moon. So I had a member on here that every time they had a baby also during their membership, and then every time when the baby would fuss for whatever reason, she would, if I was live, or she would put on videos and the baby would fall asleep. clearly something to do with my voice. I don't get it, but email me with all the deets, my love, and I will happily send you. I'll give you a couple of choices, and this way we can get something that kind of maybe matches the nursery, but it won't have all the numbers and all the other things. It'll just be pretty. It'll just be cute. Congratulations, Mama. So Hillywood, sorry, I got so excited because I knew she was ready to have that baby. Sunday babies are yummy. So Hillywood, yeah, I see it changing by end of August, getting better. So we have, I feel like I'm missing somebody. So do we have Catherine and Zoe, correct? I just have that touch to make people feel asleep. I know I should. Should we do a Into the Woods reading? I haven't done one in a hot minute. If you know, you know. If you're an OG member, then you know. We turn the lights down low. I move into my soothing voice and we read from Into the Lonely Woods. I will find your question, Catherine. Okay. Convening with you guys. Safe and regulated in your home again. Okay. Feel like there's energy work that can be done. So the thing that makes you not feel regulated or not feel safe will help itself out. But let's see what the video. Just somebody last night. And I just got a reply now. And it's making me sorry, it's making me giggle because I love when people don't believe in any of this, and then I nail something, and then I get a message back like, "Wah, wah." Anyway, I am putting on this lip gloss because this has some. I woo-wooed it. That means what it means. I'm not over explaining in this live stream. Okay. Does Catherine need to do something extra to make her feel safe in her home? I didn't even get to finish that, and it was a yes, which is what I felt. Can we do energy work that will help the thing remove itself so that it doesn't have to be conflict or extra work for her? Yes. Does that resonate with you? Bye, Lee. I know, Kate. Sorry. But Kate, does that does that resonate with you? Because you have enough of your own intuition that if that sits right with you, that yeah. So there's stuff that can be done if you want to like toot sweet post haste yeet that kind of energy, but let it yeet itself. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I know what you're talking about. So would the ideal and the thing in your highest good would be to have that exit on its own accord. Again, if anybody needs more time, I have the metaphysical only stuff on special right now, and members have like it's I wanted to give a thank you to the members because you all hung out when I wasn't here, which is again super flattering, crazy to me. But so I'm running that special right now. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. But like with harm to none. Aw, thanks, Zoe. All right, we have Zoe's question. And anybody who wanted to ask a quick second question, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna take a little break and then I will come back. And Zoe wanted to know, yes, when the relationship changes with yourself. I'm gonna tell you, you can heel boss too close to the sun to the point where some people will call it picky, but it's just like, well, now you have to compete with like how anybody that wants in has to compete with like how happy you make yourself, like how happy you've constructed the world around you, like how much satiation and joy that you create for yourself. And now it's about like, don't come in and disturb that. And that then sets out a whole other set of like molecular energetic weight that really filters people because they will show themselves so quickly when they can't stand next to that. You're back, yay. If you have a second question, you can go ahead and put it in the chat now as I finish up Zoe. I have to do my nails tonight. I feel that, and I've been in those situations. It's not great. The thing that I have is the Pluto on my ascendant, because it's less than a degree from my ascendant. Um, it came out of necessity in early childhood and high school and whatever, and even my 20s and 30s, to have to be able to burn things down and then build it back up from the ashes. But now it's like none of this shit is working. I will just burn it down and build it back up again because I'm so good at that. And so when things feel like mud, I tolerate that for very little time now. And so what if it feels like mud, let it motivate you to burn it down and build it again in a way that's safe for you, obviously, if that wasn't obvious. But yeah. All right. Love reading for Zoe. Should I break out the unicorn cards? Hey, Clover. I will not tell everybody that you're at work. Feel free to drop in a question. You can always like go back later. Happy to be back. Okay, when the cards are flying. Girl, girl. You know that soundbite? Girl, girl. Um, Lord. You got somebody in a chokehold. I don't know how else to say this. I think that there's a person that is already around you that is being quiet. A, this might be somebody you dealt with before. They are noticing the change in you. Um, Perhaps somebody else was like strong Capricorn energy or Capricorn or big 10th house. They have the BDE, specifically Capricorn. And I always joke like that can be 10th house placements. I will 1000% claim that a little for myself as a 10th house sun and Mars. So like my Cancer has a lot of Capricorn flavor on it because that sun and the Mars are in the 10th. And Sun and Mars in the 10th is exactly the kind of bullshit that makes somebody say on a live stream that I claim for myself BDE. You know, like proof is in the pudding. Um, so, but what I'm getting is that the first time or like when they first met you or something, this person is already around you. Sometimes people think they're not good enough for you. And my advice when somebody who like might be a good match, but they feel like they're not good enough for you, don't try to convince them different because they'll sabotage. And I feel like this person on some level knows that. They might be in their growth phase and they know that. So they're not, I don't know, talking to you like normally. It That's the thing is I don't think you're noticing them the way that they have their eye on you. And I don't know that they think right now that you would notice them. And that's the thing, you know? Somebody, I have a video on TikTok, my God, 5 years ago, that talks about that. If somebody feels like they're not good enough for you, don't convince them different. Don't tell them they're not, but don't try to convince them different either, because unless they have that for themselves, you can't osmosis worth for somebody else. You can encourage, support it. The best kind of support encouragement is to have them find that within themselves. But 8 times out of 10, if somebody doesn't feel like they're good enough for you, they will sabotage. Yeah, I think they're being quiet right now. So let me just say, like, is this a good, I'm getting Capricorn and Aries. You I just keep getting the same like placements. And that is why I say you have them in a chokehold, because this is normally somebody that would walk up to anyone, shoot their shot, but they're not doing that with you. Yeah, and that's so when I'm saying that, I don't mean that we should be like, that's right, you're not. They may very well be a good match, but if somebody is in the mindset that there's just disparity in the value of what each person is bringing to the table, eventually that catches up. And I'll be honest, somebody like this who is willing to grow and feel their value and then approach you is much better than the person who approaches you and then pulls back when they feel overwhelmed. And usually the disparity is only in their own mind. That's the only place it exists, right? Our perception is the place that we make decisions out of. Our perception is the place we make decisions out of. But we cannot, if we make somebody feel amazing from our validation, that is surface. And that is dwindling until they build it deep within themselves. That's when it sticks. And we want that for every human. But this, I mean, I also feel something around. Is there somebody coming in like early January 2027, like something serious for Zoe? Yeah, I keep getting early January for you. Either it will be this person that like opens up or somebody else. Clover, and then I will get to people who ask a second question. What is the most aligned action for you to take regarding launching your business venture? That, I'm not gonna lie, that almost sounds a little bit more like the most accurate answer is going to be astrological. Um, I just saw myself backwards on YouTube. Yuck, yuck. The things that annoy me. Give me 1 second, doll. Clover, you're a nerd. So you're a nerd club. So I'm gonna pull up your chart. I'm just gonna pull it up for me and answer you. Give me a second. I'm just looking. You're welcome. You have a lunar return coming up. Remind me, are you in the same state you were born in? You don't have to give the exact town. Instead of saying where you are, like instead of giving the town location where you are living currently, just give me like the one of the closer major cities that you are. No, I don't want you to restart right now. The fuck? I'm on my computer. It's like attached to my hip like a phone. Never ask me if I want to restart when I'm just doing back work. No, always when I'm live streaming. It's like, hey, we're gonna restart. Who the fuck your name? And then I know Farfley had a question. I'm just waiting for Clover to give me a close by city. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, on the 14th is your lunar return. Um, organization and marketing is the most aligned action that you could take right now. Clover, with this business venture, remind me, I'm sorry, because I know that I've done sessions for you, but like this is I'm trying to remember the exact just because I do so many, it's hard for everything to stick. Would this involve like getting clients or having contracts or having like subscribers of any type? Because if you were going to launch anything, launching something on the 14th would be amazing for you. Promoting yourself, publishing anything, all of that on the 14th is a great day. It's nice. Yes, all of that. It's the 14th is beautiful. There's a really nice lunar return. You know, sometimes we're waiting to launch something, we get a different kind of a lunar return where it's like, sorry, I know you don't want to hear this, but it's not yet. This is really beautiful timing. So this is the 8th, you're talking about 6 days later, and then that is 3 days before the new moon. Yeah. got Venus in the house of publishing and promotion. We've got the moon in the 7th. In a direct conversation with that Venus, in a really nice conversation with that Venus. You don't read a lunar return the way that you read transits or a birth chart, but for this lunar return, it's really everything around publishing, clients, contracts, all of that is set up nicely for you. So if you want to launch something, that's a great day. And if you're going to launch something that day, you probably want to look for like when the moon is in. Here's where you don't want the moon to be in transit in your houses in your chart, right? So like if you know how to like pull up the transits on any kind of like app or anything, progressions is the one that I use, but I use the pro version of it because the free version is kind of not great, if I'm being honest. But if you know how to use astro.com and put up your chart with the transits, you would want also I have half an hours over on my page and on Woke Astrology for half an hour consults for stuff like this. But you would just try to keep the moon out of the 4th, the 4th, the 8th, the 12th, because those are quieter. Houses, you would want it to be, you know, the moon in the houses where we're seeing money, we're seeing agency, we're seeing communication, we're seeing public view, those kind of things. You're welcome. Are you on track? Powerfully. Is Sparkly on track for her career? Yes. For some reason, I'm feeling resistance and feeling like there's not going to be like instant gratification, but then once it gets going, it's really going. So there's something that may need time to build. Like you're on the right track, you're on the right plan. It's just gonna, it's like a slow burn, a slow build. That makes sense? Okay. You are welcome. All right. I think I got everybody. Is there anybody that I didn't get that asked a first question? And then that was interesting. I went to go ask your question, Flower Peacock, and it like flew out of my hand. And so I don't know if that means that that's like that's anything. Probably isn't. Okay. Will Flower Peacock reconcile with Mr. A in her highest good? I'm getting a no for that, my love. I'm getting a no for that. And like pull, cut the deck a couple of times and just get. I think they're very distracted. And I don't think that they would make you a priority. So it's a no, but it's a no with like it might be better off that way. I just feel like they have a lot on their plate. The card that I got just said that they would not, it would be a constant conversation if there was a reconciliation to that it would come back to come apart. That's what I'm hearing. Yes, things got to cook first. I feel that. YouTube is totally not pushing out this live. Again, if anybody could share, even if you copy and link and send it to your damn self. But if anyone's been doing that and they're still not pushing it out, because you'll notice everybody that's in here is somebody that's already been in this community. Yeah, I feel like once the chase is over, you would not be a priority just because that's what he can, that's the best he can do right now. It doesn't make him a bad person. Okay, Dallas Ann asked, does the connection with our neighbors look like? I thought I'm using this deck for. Hey, little John, you got a question? All the new people are probably like, there's no little John. She's talking to imaginary rappers in the chat. You know, and I know who you are. Yeah, throw me your question. All right, Dallas Ann. What is a connection with your neighbors? The new house, right? Did I get that right at the new house? Yeah, on your new street. Okay. Mr. 369. Hope you're investing in yourself, Mr. Mando. Oh, that's a big question. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Neck hurts, I need a massage. Okay, this is interesting. All right, I want to do something here. I feel like there's three different people that you'll be dealing with the most, Dallas. Okay, and this is three totally different. Okay, am I reading this first card correctly? And that this is the one that she will, yeah, okay. Am I reading the second card? Okay, so here's what I'm getting. I'm getting like there's one person who's kind of be going through it. Like there's either stuff going on, either they're like that house is in the middle of like somebody's divorce, something is going on, and so they might be a little bit more quiet at first, or when you meet them, they might be like a little chaotic energy, but that is the person that you end up having the best like bond with. They're just like a real person going through things, and like they don't judge and they don't like, that is the person that's probably going to be the most authentic and the most real, and then you would connect with them. There's another person that also is kind of going through it, but this person doesn't really, they kind of stay going through it. And they may party a little bit or drink a little bit as escapism, to the point that it's a problem. And so if you meet somebody, yay, I just said that, like, there's, hi Aries, GA28 will be with you in just a moment. I can answer that in a yes or no format for you. Juan, hi Astro Daddy. Are you exhausted? I said I was going to hold, I know you said I'll be at work when you go live. And I think I said it to you in your email, but I may, like, I will wait for you. Okay. So that third person, if there's somebody that keeps inviting you over for drinks, that might be like the clue, that it's like you don't, because what I feel from the second person is like you will have empathy for them, but then it gets to the point where you feel like you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, because you don't always want to be, or you don't want to be around that all the time, and you don't want to also enable it. But once like you start saying yes to it, so like I'm going to tell you all three, just don't, like, let everybody show you who they are. The third one is going to come off so nice and, oh my god, welcome to the neighborhood, and then you're going to be over them real quick because they're complete fake assholes. So the bottom line is that there's one really good one. There's one that's like, let's hope they get out of their own way. And there's other people that it's like smile and wave, smile and wave. Don't, because they're judgmental assholes. But the whole thing is for you to give it a minute. Let people show you who they are before you start besting anyone. Because I think the one that you'll probably end up with the best connection with is the one who will not be chasing the whole like, oh, we're so glad you moved in. Yeah. And if you don't get super close right away, then you won't have to be avoiding invitations, is what I keep getting. Like, you want to be comfortable in your own home. You don't want to be like, I don't want to go outside because that person's outside and then they're going to ask me to do that and I don't want to do that. That is the feeling I'm getting. So just like, kind of keep it keep it moving in the beginning. Okay. Juan, if you want to ask a question. And again, people yell at me if I'm skipping anyone, because I'm working without a moderator right now. I don't know why I keep making that noise. Neurodivergence. Make little noises. Okay. I feel like Little John was next, and then Aries 28. Should you buy the land that you're looking at this weekend? Should Mr. Mando buy the land he's looking at this weekend? Now, I gotta tell you, the first thing I got is like getting one of the major hookups says that it's available, but then however it gets you know, because when you buy land, if like sewer isn't already there, if electric isn't already there, if like Wi-Fi, phone connect, all of that internet isn't already there, it could cost up to 3 times or more of the purchase of the actual land to get all of that going. And they showed me my one friend who actually bought land, and they said that there was like one small detail about the water hookup, and it was like a year later and a lot of money to get fucking running water. So the reason that you're not supposed to buy the land is you're supposed to like triple check what you're being told about the connections, if that makes sense. I do feel something, yeah, you would need a septic. So that was exactly what the face that just flashed before me, that's what they were told too, like, oh yeah, it's just a matter of a septic and that it's only going to cost this, but it was like a year and a lot more money later to get it going. um is there another property next weekend, like the weekend of, yeah, I feel like around the 17th, 18th, 19th is a good weekend for you to, and I feel like if you don't say yes right away to the land you're looking at this weekend, it'll still be there if you change your mind or you get like a better quote about, but I also feel like there's another property coming up that will be even better for you. You're going to email me, you got it. Aries, is your ex thinking of moving back home? Like Aries 28, if you're still here, when, because I want to be asking the question properly. The quality of the way that I ask the question helps me give you a quality answer. Do you mean like back home to like they used to live in that area, or do you mean back home to the house that you would both be living in the same house? Like in the home, the physical home where you also live, or like back home, meaning like area? Aw, thanks, Alexanne. It's 10 acres. That's nice. That is nice. That's what I would like about that, because I want to build a compound. Also, can I tell you a little secret? Shh. Get yourself an LLC and buy the property as an LLC for several reasons. But one, if you ever want to build a small dwelling for a family member or anybody else on your acreage, and you are an LLC, you can have multiple dwellings and you can override town, county, and state ordinances and will not have to flag lot. So if you purchase the land under an LLC, there are other benefits. Purchase the land under an LLC and get ordained online. Purchase the land under an LLC and get ordained online. Go check all of that out. Go explore why Suzzy would say that to you and then make those faces into the camera. my friend. You're welcome, Aries. I just wanted to make sure that you got the answer that you're really looking for. Okay. Okay. For Aries 28, will their person, their ex, move back home to the area? Getting a yes. Is there conditions on them moving? Like, are they already thinking of it, but they're waiting for a certain condition? No. Are they more likely, definitely moving back to the area? Yeah, I get yes. I wanted to ask if there were conditions because in case it's a yes, but it's conditioned on somebody getting a job or something else, and then it doesn't turn out. So I'm getting yes, and it doesn't look like there are any specific conditions that they would move back where they used to live. I hope that was helpful. All right, we're at 2.5 hours. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Check my email. You're so welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I will, okay, so Cancer sign video for members this weekend. And I might go live and do some like Astro Tarot this weekend. And also I'm going to be doing a live for the Aries new moon for I will do it the same way I did the Libra full moon, which I kind of like. I'll do some of it public, and then when we get to like actual like chart readings and the things that are really for just members, then I'll move it over to members only. So it'll be both. I probably won't do another like ask a bunch of questions live for like another 3-4 weeks. So if in that time you really you need a reading, all the specials are on the community page. Again, if you're a member, there's juicier specials, and if not, there's still specials running because I probably won't be doing another one of these for a while. Oh, no problem. It's going to go up as a premiere. So I'll pre-record it and then I'll be in the chat the same way that I did Gemini. So it won't be a live video. It'll be pre-recorded and then it'll premiere and I will be in the chat. Okie dokie. All right, kids, this was fun. Thank you all for the lovely things that you said. Thank you for members for hanging out and waiting for me. That's incredible. I love you. Now you love you, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.